NUSU Talks.
My name is Carter.
And I'm Ryland. And today we have Sammy, who is the president of NUSWA, the social work club here at Nipissing.
Hi.
Welcome.
That was such a good intro. That was amazing.
Thank you.
We're so happy you're
Yeah,
here.
we're so
I'm so
excited.
excited.
Amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
So to kind of start us off, do you want to just tell us a little bit about NUSWA, maybe a little bit about what your team looks like, and how students can become involved?
Yeah, so NUSWA stands for Nipissing University Social Work Association. So we're connected with the School of Social Work, and we're kind of the student group that represents and works for the students in the School of Social Work and the social work program. So we have the association chair, that's me. We have our program relations and outreach. We have our social development. We have our administration. Originally, like last year, we had an executive of finance and administration. But then this year we decided that's a lot to put into one role, so we split them into two. So now we have an executive administration and then an executive of finance. And for people to get involved, we have our yearly elections, and those are held through interviews. And then that's at the end of the year, so we're kind of going into that right now for our executive positions.
Yeah.
And then our first and second year reps are found September or October, just because when you have first years you can't interview them or anything for the beginning of the year. But yeah.
Are you doing those interviews for the incoming executives?
I am a third year student, so I can't. In our constitution it says that it has to be a fourth year student that does those interviews. But yeah.
So did I get your, I know I said president, what's your actual title?
So it's association chair. But
is
it's
that acting like kind of the
it's
head?
just, I kind of explain it like it's a different title, but I kind of help to keep things running and organized, and I run the team meetings and stuff like that.
Okay.
So similar responsibilities,
but just a different little name to it. Okay, that's amazing.
And you have first and second year representatives, but it stops after second year, or do you have third year representatives?
Yeah, so last year the entire executive team was all fourth years. So we had a third year representative, but that's just because we need to make sure that we have representation from every single year, just to make sure all voices are heard. But yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
And last week was World Social Work Day, which was on the 18th, I believe, of March. Correct? Yeah. But you collaborated with the School of Social Work and had the Careers Day in the library. Can you just tell us, first of all, what that entailed, and also what you learned from having that kind of day?
Yeah, it was so much fun. So our Careers Day was Social Work Careers Day, and we had agencies from all over the North Bay area, so CAS, the hospital, the Catholic School Board, things like that. We had Yes Employment.
That's
so
good.
it's just it was a way to bring social work in real life to the students and just kind of understand the careers, and it allowed for our fourth year students to network and kind of see where they want to go. And then our first and second years, they were able to see where social workers actually are, and where you can end up once you're done in this program. So yeah,
because I feel like it's a broad range of different areas that you can go in social work.
This has been said a couple of times in my classes, but social workers are literally everywhere. So we're in school boards, they're in hospitals, they're in counseling agencies, they're working with people dealing with homelessness, addictions, family issues and troubles. Literally anywhere that you can think of, you're probably going to see a social worker there in some aspect. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And they're really important to have everywhere because they're needed.
I like to think so. But yeah.
Yes. That's awesome. Now, over the past academic year, you as NUSWA have hosted a variety of events. I have a few of them listed out down here. So you had bake sales, movie nights, Christmas card making, and then also you collaborated with a bunch of other the student groups to put on the humanities formal. Is there someone on your team that's dedicated to putting their efforts towards events, or is it kind of a collaboration between everyone on the team?
So based in our constitution, it depends on the type of event. So something like Careers Day, that would be more our program relations and outreach, because that's community partners. And then our program, or our social relations, that would be more student events. So socials, humanities formal, that type of thing, because it's student based, I guess.
Yeah.
But I find that a lot of the time with our events, we're all in there together, and we're really working to make sure that we can put on the best event that we can. And like that's something that I love about this executive team. Like we have our titles and we have like our responsibilities, but we're all really working to support one another and kind of pick up if someone's struggling with something. Like we're really supportive in that way, so I think that's amazing.
You guys are a big team.
Yeah.
We are. We're like a little family.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You're all working towards the same goal,
Yeah.
and everyone just carries each other on their backs,
Yeah.
which is nice.
As a team of BSW students, how much time or how much of a time commitment is this group? Like factoring in like classes, placement, all the things.
Yeah, so it is a commitment. So we have our first and second year, and then we have our professional years. And so only professional year students can be executive members, so the first 5 that I listed. So like we have our team meetings twice a week. Those are like an hour.
Twice a week?
Or sorry, once every 2 weeks, bi-weekly.
Okay.
Thank you. And then we have bi-weekly meetings with our reps, so our first and second years to do check-ins, and then also just like planning events, so kind of anything that goes into planning events. So going to meetings, like for the humanities formal, I would go to meetings with all of those other student groups to support with that, or just, and actually being at the events, so they can be 1 to 3 hours depending on what they are. And then, but yeah, so for the executives, we have practicum. So you have our third years, which is what I'm in. I have my practicum Wednesday to Friday, and then I have classes Monday and Tuesday. And our fourth years have Monday to Wednesday practicum, and then Thursday, Friday classes. So just with that, like it's a lot, but there's also like people can take a step back if they need to, and like I was saying before, we're really supportive of each other. So like if I say I can't do this event today, like there's a whole team of people that are ready to support me in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like there is for sure a time commitment, but it's also, I find that it's manageable.
Yeah.
And it's so rewarding and so fun, so I think it's worth it.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
Can you expand a little bit more about what the social work program entails for students that might not already know?
Yeah, so
Sorry,
I
there's
think
a
the
best.
social work program is the best program, but I'm a little biased in saying that. So we have our first and second year, and that's where you come in and you're kind of getting like the foundations of social work and understanding. So we have things like critical policy work and like your intro to social work and intro to social welfare. So there's 4 mandatory classes that you have to take, and then the rest are electives. So like that's where you can get your minors if you want to do that. And then once you get to third and fourth year, those are called our professional years or our pro years. And to get into that right now, you have to do an application. So it is based on grades, but then there's also a supplemental application where you do like a statement of interest and an analysis of a social issue, and then there's a committee that kind of chooses who goes in.
Into your third and fourth
Yeah.
year?
Yeah, so you apply your first year to go into the program, and then we have our professional years. We have our second application.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
What happens if you don't get in?
so you can apply again the next year.
Stressful.
It is stressful, but it's also like once you do it, it's really not that stressful. I know, like we held pro years workshops like to help students get prepared. That was in part with Mary Pat Sullivan. I love her. She's amazing.
Shout out.
Yep, shout out Mary Pat. She would and like supports students, so all the second year students can come and like see what's required for your supplemental applications, and they can like ask questions, and then like the NUSWA members that went, we would give perspectives on what it was like to actually go into it. And like it's very scary when you're applying because you're like, oh my gosh, what if I don't get in? But I don't know, like in my third year, I don't know anyone that applied last year that didn't get in, and the only reason that they wouldn't have is because they didn't meet like the average requirement.
Okay.
But yeah, everyone in the School of Social Work wants to see students succeed,
Yeah.
and they want us to keep going because like we want to be social workers and we want to be doing that work. So like it's not saying I don't agree with that, so you don't get to go into the professional years. Like it's a very supportive environment in my opinion. but it is for sure scary and stressful. Like, I remember when I was applying, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, but once it was handed in, I was like, oh, that was fine. It's all done, it's good.
It's just the process of getting it done that you're like,
But yeah, I feel like that's like applying for anything.
Yeah,
Like, oh my gosh,
sure.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but
So NUSWA supports the students by having these like extra little workshops, or do you guys collaborate with the staff members to make these workshops happen?
yeah, so the main ones that we attended were with the faculty, so we were invited to go in and support. So they put those on every single year.
Yeah.
And then there's also drop-in sessions that we held January, I think it was. So students could come and talk to like just students, because sometimes it's scary to approach a faculty member and be like, hey, read this and tell me if it sounds good. So we kind of just wanted to give that opportunity to have a little stress-free. Not talking bad about the professors, I think they're all amazing, but it can just be scary sometimes. But then also, like, there's sessions that students can go to the faculty themselves. But I feel like there is a lot of collaboration between NUSWA and the faculty, just because we are an association specifically for social work. So in order to make sure, like, everything is going where we want it to, we have to work with faculty, and I think it's really important that we do as well.
And am I incorrect in saying they're implementing a test now at the end?
So, like, yes, but no. That was actually something that a lot of us third years were freaking out about, because, yeah, it's in order to be a social worker and call yourself a social worker, you need to register with the Ontario College of Social Workers and Social Service Workers. And they have decided to kind of start implementing an entrance exam to be able to register. So it's not like an exam to like graduate or anything. It's once we're graduated and we want to register with the college, you have to do that. And originally I was going to have to be writing one, and I was like, oh my gosh, because we were going to be the first cohort, because they were saying like 2027, and this is just based on what I've read. But then we found out that it's actually moving to 2028 apparently, and I feel like it's constantly changing, and like they really want to make sure that they get it right and they do it right. But yeah, so now it's 2028, but it's also only certain people that are coming back to register once they already have been registered. So yeah, I feel like it's changing a lot, but I'm excited that I don't have to write the exam. But I know that it is really important that we have that exam, because we want to make sure people are being ethical and following registration rules and all that stuff, which is super important for social work.
That's what I was just going to say. Like, I hope it isn't scaring anyone away, because I feel like a lot of programs now are having things like that at the end, just to make sure that you are like fully prepared for the field you're about to go into. So I hope that students understand that that's not something to be scared of. But rather, like, I'm working towards this because I want this.
It's the same thing as like writing the bar, or
exactly,
doing your MCAT or Casper. Like, it's the same thing. It's just to ensure that you're prepared to be able to serve the public properly.
Yeah, and because we're working with vulnerable populations, and like we're gonna see people in some of the worst days and some of the best days of their lives, we need to make sure that we're following our code of ethics and really like being the best support we can without crossing those boundaries. And I feel like I haven't seen any information personally of what exactly is going to be on the exam. I would hope that it has to do with our code of ethics and standards of practice. I'm assuming it does. But yeah, I don't think it's scaring anyone away, and I think our professors are doing a good job at talking about it and answering questions when they can, if they have the answers, but they also only know so much, because only so much is sent out to everybody. But so I hope it's not scaring anyone away, but from what I've seen, I don't think it is, like with our third years, that's not anyways. So
good. Perfect.
Just a little, I was just thinking about it as you were talking about the program of social work. I remember back in my first and second year, which was last year and the year before that, so it's not that far away, but I was always like, I'm in psychology, but I always loved social work, because I feel like they kind of, there's parts where they can blend. And I was taking social work classes in first and second year, and I feel like people were like thinking I was a poser, because like eventually they're like, oh my god, like you're in social work. I was like, no. And they're like, oh, like you're in all the classes. I was like, I just really like it. But because it is such like interesting course material that you're learning, especially in those first 2 years, like I couldn't take beyond that. But like I just
Yeah.
loved it.
I think, like, they're open to anyone to take. In our first and second year, all of the social work classes, like, they're not restricted like they are in the third and fourth year. And I think, personally, it's really important to have that interdisciplinary work because, as I said before, social workers are everywhere, and we need to be able to work with everyone. So being able to have students that aren't specifically in social work joining those classes, it also brings really interesting perspective. Like, I had my policy course with someone who was in phys ed, I think it was, and we had some criminal justice students, so like there's a lot of crossover, and I personally welcome them, and I love when people want to learn about social work, and I think it kind of adds to that dynamic, I guess, of just being able to work together and work professionally with others that aren't like specifically in your profession.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, zoning in on like just the students in the program itself, I always hear people say, like, specifically for social work at Nipissing, they say cohorts of students because, like, I feel like it's a more condensed group, but I feel like because of that, you guys are able to get closer with one another because you're in all the same classes and, like, all that thing. Do you think that that's why, like, or do you think it's important to have, like, a first and second year representative to, like, speak to specifically their cohort because it is a smaller group and you can say, like, this is your first year representative, you know them, like, you've been taking classes with them. Like, do you think that, like, helps in that sense of, like, community building with NUSWA?
100% yes. I don't know where I would be without our first and second year reps because, like, I'm not taking classes with them, and I don't necessarily always know what's going on with them, so we really rely on the first and second year reps, and that's their primary role on NUSWA is to bring forward cohort concerns. So, like, at our meetings, I'll go to my first year reps and I'll say, what's going on with the first years? Are there any concerns? I'll go to my second year reps and I'll say, what's going on with...
How many people per cohort is there?
It varies. Like, my cohort is 20 people.
Oh my gosh, that's it?
Yeah, it's a small group, but it's really nice because we can get into really fun conversations and, like, feel a lot more connected and supported by our professors. First and second year, not everyone that's in the social work classes are considered, like, social work majors, but anyone who's in a social work class and, like, brings forward issues, like, we're happy to support it if we can. But yeah, just having that representation of all 4 years is super important. Like, that's why we had our third year, because we didn't have a third year on the executive team, so they brought in a third year rep. But yeah, I said it before, I'll say it again, don't know where I would be without my first year and second year reps. I think they're amazing, and they also come with so many amazing ideas, and they're just so excited to do things, so yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
What made you want to pursue social work?
So this is a question that I feel like I get asked a lot, and all of us get asked a lot. There's the basic answer of just saying, I want to help people.
Yeah.
And, like, that's the first, I also noticed this, like, in my first and second year classes, like, everyone just wants to help people. And we want to be able to go into a profession that allows us to help people. But as I've been going through my program, I'm learning more and more about the structural injustices and things like that. So when I first started, I wanted to go into social work, like, because I have lived experience with, like, being a service user and also having family members that are service users. So I was always like, I want to be that person. Like, I want to do that job. But the longer that I've been going through my classes and learning about these structural issues, it's like, wow, it's not just being, like, a counselor or supporting someone. It's also, like, fighting for those injustices and, like, kind of obviously not being that voice for people, but just kind of advocating and supporting people and advocating for themselves, and kind of there's so many different layers and levels to things. So even if you're just doing micro practice, you're also doing macro practice. So it's, I don't know, I feel like it always changes, but
that's fair.
Like, at the heart of it, I want to be a support to people, and I want to be able to help people reach their goals and stuff like that. But that also comes with seeing people at their lowest and being like, okay, let's figure out where we're going to go from here and work together to get you there. But,
Do you feel that the presence of NUSWA has influenced your understanding of the importance that social workers have in the community?
I think so, personally. I was a second-year rep last year, so that was really fun. And just seeing the community outreach that they do and that we do this year, and just seeing the support and the want to support the students in the program, I think it helps me see like what social workers do.
Yeah.
And like we're not social workers yet, but just kind of having that presence, it's like, okay, yeah, like I can do this, and it's just really helpful to see that connection and support everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I'll say it again, and I'll say it every episode. Small actions, big
Big
change.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Every
Yeah.
single episode we say that small actions, big change.
I said we should rename the podcast to Small Actions, Big Change.
But you already have the sign.
Yeah, true. We're kind of locked in with our NUSU talks
Well,
here.
you can like NUSU talks.
We
and
add a
then-
little-
Small actions, big change.
And
Yeah.
that's like your motto. That's
What's
like
our
your
little mantra.
yeah. I like
love
it.
that.
Speaking of NUSU talks, perfect segue
Oh my
into
God.
our final segment, which is NUSU Lets You Talk.
Oh.
So the floor is now yours to leave any message you would like to leave with any students or anyone who's watching, or just like a personal message you want to leave,
Yeah.
anything you would like to say. The floor is now yours.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Okay, I'll talk to everyone here. So, talk to everyone watching and famous now. So, I'm so excited to be here with you guys. But NUSWA is super excited about working with student groups. We did a lot of that this year, and so I'm really hoping that continues next year, and we're really excited about that hopefully continuing next year. And also just anyone who is in the social work program and wants to get involved, reach out and let us know that you want to get involved. And then just if you have concerns or you're not sure who to talk to, you can message us on Instagram or Facebook, send us an email. But yeah, we want to support everyone, and we want to help be that voice to advocate for students, as well as just putting on fun events.
I
Yeah.
love that.
That was
Thank you
great.
so much for being here
Yes,
with us
thank
Thank
today.
you for having me.
It was a pleasure to have
Yes.
you on. But yeah. Yep. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Bye.